welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about embarrassing moments. I'm really proud of myself because I know a lot of people have been super embarrassed by sending a text to the wrong person. Thankfully, I've managed to avoid that for the most part. This wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was pretty bad. Me and my family were out after church eating Mexican food at our favorite Mexican restaurant, and this really cute guy walked in. My best friend hung out with me after church sometimes, but this one time she wasn't. So I text her, was like, oh my gosh, super cute guy just walked in the restaurant. As soon as I sent, I looked up at the name and realized I had sent it to my brother who was sitting right across from me. Slowly, I see his face as he realizes his phone is vibrating. He reaches into his pocket. He takes the phone out, looks down, opens the message, reacts, looks up at me like a total freak, and I'm like, sorry. That was meant for Gabby. And oh my gosh, like I could have sent it to my parents, but now they know anyways because they're seeing it in this video. But it could have been a lot worse, but it was still really embarrassing because, you know, oh my God, my brother already thinks I'm a loser, so, you know, why not just add one more? One time my mom told me that I was like a baby bird in social situations, that when I get really awkward and don't know what to do, I'm like a baby bird who can't fly, but they're trying really hard to flap their wings. And I could not agree more with that assessment, even though it's super embarrassing. Well, not long after that conversation, I was involved in a group project at church, and I'm like the oldest person there, so I should feel super confident, but I didn't. And I don't even remember what was being talked about. All I remember is that in a sudden moment, all eyes were on me, and I didn't really know what to do. So I just started flapping my arms awkwardly. And I was like, I don't know why. I had my mom's comment in my head, and I was like, maybe they'll stop looking at me if I do something weird. I have two recent moments that happened. Same group of friends. Me and my brother and his friend from work, we've all been going out. The first time we went bowling, ate at Denny's. It was super fun. We laughed until we cried, and I got home and I look in the mirror and I have black makeup smudged under my eyes. It was probably because we were laughing and crying. It probably, even though it's waterproof, false advertising. And first of all, I was mad. I was like, I can't believe I've been out like this. Second of all, I was like, okay, well, the friend might have felt awkward, didn't want to say anything, but I was like, my brother. Hello? Why couldn't you tell me I had black under my eyes? It was just like, the restaurant was dimly lit, maybe they didn't notice. It was like the first time I'd been out in a long time, so of course something bad had to happen. Which brings us to a couple weeks later. We went out again, mini golfing, ate some wings, and then went bowling again. Before we went to eat, I was getting into the car, and I thought I felt something rip, but then I looked down and realized that the seat had a cover on it, and the cover had come off. I was like, oh, I guess I just felt the cover come off. Well, I'm walking into the wings restaurant, and I'm like, why am I feeling cold air? What's wrong? So I try to subtly look down my pants to see if there's a rip, and there is. Thankfully, it's not like right down the middle. It's not bad. It's just this small to medium-sized hole on the inner thigh. However, it's still like, okay, I still have to try and cover this up. Well, it's okay. We're gonna eat, go home. I should be okay. We're sitting down. Then they decide we should go bowling. Now I'm worried about two things. One, I don't want the hole to show because there's a lot of movement and lunging with bowling. And then I'm like, with all of that movement, I don't want it to get bigger. Thankfully it didn't. I made it home, but I had a hole in my favorite pants, and I found out that there had been a leaf stuck in my hair since the time we had gone mini golfing. Whole day. No one told me. No one told me. One year for Valentine's Day, I had this outfit all planned out from the top to the bottom. I was determined to look extra special for Valentine's Day at church. I don't know why I didn't check this, but there was something wrong with my pants. There was like a stain or something. I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, we have to throw these in the laundry right now. I have to wear these pants. These are the only pants that go with my outfit. It was like a race against the clock to get them in the wash, get them in the dryer. We turned it up on extra high, but they just didn't dry in time. They were damp, and they hadn't dried enough to shrink back to their shape. But I was like, it's fine. I'll just, I'll put the shirt over the top of them. No one will see if they're really loose. Maybe I'll get away with it. I have to wear these jeans. Instead of looking, super cute on Valentine's Day, I spent the entire time trying to hide the fact that I had to hold up my pants with one hand. They were so big on me, and it was so obvious. They were just like, it was so bad. I don't know why I make these rash decisions. I just do. One year, my brother was in some sort of camp type thing for basketball, and one of the coaches, shocker, he was really young and I had a crush on him. It's not like something embarrassing that happened. It's more just like I'm ashamed of myself. I didn't want to blend into the background of the other parents and kids watching. So I was constantly asking, does anyone want anything? Water, snacks? I'll go get them. And I would do that. So I would have to get up and walk to the door, and he'd see movement and see me. So yeah, I was constantly, is anyone thirsty? I'm kind of parched. Anyone want a snack? I'm feeling peckish. Oh sure, Dad, I'll take the money. I'll get it. No, I insist. I'll get it. And there's so many things wrong with me. I was really supportive of my brother when he played sports back in the day. I was the girl who learned all the names of her brother's teammates, went to every game, no matter what, screamed her head off, even though it was like, 7, 8 in the morning. So bad. My brother kept telling me to stop, but I wouldn't. One year, the team had a party, and I was under the impression that it was a family thing. Families could come and be involved because the family who was hosting it had a pool and a trampoline and all this stuff. So I showed up with my swim bag. All the other guys were there, but no one brought their families. The only other child there was the family that was hosting. Their youngest daughter was there, but she was way younger than I was. In my head, I was determined. They were like, want to go swimming? And I was like, heck yeah, I want to go swimming. So I got on my sunscreen and my swimsuit, and I go out there with this entire basketball team, and John's like, what are you doing? Please leave. And I was like, no, this is a family thing. I can be here. I'm gonna swim. So I sit in the pool, and all the guys are like roughhousing and doing crazy stunts off the slide, and I'm just like, oh my god, I can't, I didn't even want to swim. I was determined, but my confidence, I was losing steam. I look over and there's a trampoline, and I was like, oh, well, they're not over there. I'll go on the trampoline. So I asked permission. They're like, oh yeah, go ahead. Well, I go on the trampoline, and all of a sudden, the basketball team, one by one, starts to follow me and jump on the trampoline. So, at first I'm there, I'm like, oh, this is nice, I'm jumping. And then all of a sudden, one teammate jumps on, and I start going a little higher. And I'm like, this is fun. And then 2 more guys get on the trampoline, and I'm just going higher and higher. I was pretty much going higher than the actual barrier around the trampoline. I'm older than all these guys, by the way. But you wouldn't know that because all of a sudden I lose my cool and I start panicking. I'm like, you're gonna have to let me off this trampoline now, please, please, please. And they're all looking at me like I am a freak. They're like, you're gonna have to jump off, okay? Just jump off. They're just being absolute jerks to me, may I just say. I have no shoes on. I'm in a swimsuit. I'm super scared of heights. My brother is just mortified. He's like, jump off. Just jump off. Okay, here it goes. And I jump off, and I did land on my feet. I was really scared I was going to land on my face, but I didn't. I landed on my feet, but it was like bare feet on cold, hard dirt, and it hurt, but I just walked away after that. I just stayed by my parents till we went home, and I'm pretty sure my brother didn't talk to me for a really long time. I still went to every game and screamed at all the players. So I only lost steam for that, one day. I don't know. Oh God, oh my God, that is up there with most embarrassing moments. That is just up there. I'm stacking up points with my brother. One of my most embarrassing moments, if not most embarrassing moment, is this. I was hanging out with a group of people, and one of those people happened to be a boy that I liked. The guys in the group started to get all like, oh, let's compete, let's do something. They're like, oh, I bet, I could spend the longest looking up at the ceiling. They proceed to do this whole competition. Well, I get this just smart idea in my head that I'm gonna walk over and beat all of them, and it's gonna be super impressive. And so I proceed to leave my best friend behind, walk over to the boys, look up at the ceiling, and start spinning around. And I'm spinning and spinning, and the boys are egging me on and laughing and joking and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I've gone for a really long time, and I stop and proceed to fall over. Now, this scenario is embarrassing enough because I fall over. Well, here's the thing. My head's like, Mayday, Mayday, abort, abort. Like, your crush is standing right there. You've got to recover somehow. So I try and quickly get back up and brush it off. I fell down again and hit my head on a chair and just absolutely wiped out. I'm laying there. I know that guy is there. You know what? I'm just gonna stay here. I had to lay there because I hit my head and it hurt so bad. I can't even do anything now. And remember how I mentioned my best friend? Yeah. Well, she could have come over and helped me, but instead she chose to laugh. Helpful. Very helpful. In my middle school brain, I was just like, oh my God, it's over. Nothing was happening, but I was like, it's over. He'll never talk to me again. He probably thinks I'm a freak, blah, blah, blah. Ugh, good times. I do want to make a point in this video. Embarrassing things happen to all of us. You are not alone. I'm super awkward and clumsy, and honestly, God did not make me to be a social butterfly. I was not meant to be a social butterfly. I can't even handle myself with my family, okay? I'm just crazy and weird. I do my best to try and embrace it and move forward. And so far, no one hates me, so just know that you are not alone. If you have embarrassing moments, just brush it off, because within a minute or two it'll be done. No one will remember it. It's just, yeah, be you, don't be embarrassed. It's fine. It happens to all of us. I don't know why these things happen. They just do. I hope you've enjoyed this video at my expense. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to receive notifications every time I upload. I will see you in my next video. Bye!